Welcome to another Raju's Rants. And today I'm talking about Welcome to Derry. I didn't know what to think about this. I saw the first two episodes and I kind of went in there with no skin in the game. I liked the It movies. I thought they were fine. They weren't like the greatest thing to me. Pennywise has always been an interesting character. I watched the old, was it like the 90s or 80s version with Tim Curry? And I just, killer clowns, that's just freaky. Demonic clowns that's killing kids. That's a wild thing. So it's always been kind of freaky and interesting. Well, this it Welcome to Derry goes a little bit deeper, and usually once you start explaining things, it becomes the mystery and the mysticism and the I guess the fear of the creature becomes less. But with this, it's already written in the books, Stephen King's universe. So there's a lot of good, rich history there. And I was actually very intrigued. And I thought, man, the first episode, I was hooked because you follow these kids and you think, oh, they're going to be like the Losers Club. They're just going to replay this. And then, spoiler alert, they all die. And I was just like, holy smokes, I did not expect that. And then episode two is kind of the same thing. It really does a great job of keeping things creepy and horrific and the fear there. And to be fair, without even having Pennywise, I'm interested in the origin. I did kind of a little of a deep dive, and I know a lot of Stephen King stuff is connected. And Pennywise is like an alien creature, I believe, and he crashed to Earth. He predates humans, and he was there, in prehistoric times. And the town of Derry was built around him, and so he kind of has a control on the town, especially the adults. That's why like the bullies are super insane, and he kind of keeps this control on the adults, and he likes to prey off the kids because he can change into something that they would be scared of. What's he gonna change into with the adults? Like like bills and job loss and stuff like that. But so he can scare the kids, and it's more interesting with kids because kids are innocent, right? And you killing kids, that's rough, that's just crazy. But this makes it very interesting, and it also shows the way they've done the series so far that no one is safe. And I also thought it was really cool that the guy from The Shining, I think his name is God damn it. Uh, I'm gonna come back to that, but he's in it, and I thought that was really cool, and I didn't even catch that, and I thought, man, that was such a cool tie-in. Now I haven't read the book, obviously, and so I don't know if that the stuff with the Dick Halloran is a guy's name. He was the caretaker, was played by Scatman Crothers, and it's obviously somebody else in this, but Dick Halloran's in it, and he's a young Dick Halloran in on the bass. And I take it this goes, yeah, because it's Bill Skarsgård. Even though he's not in it, I'm sure he'll have appearances, but they have like monsters and other creatures, and it's a good way to have it be in the show without being in the show. You know what I'm saying? Know what I'm saying? So you don't have to pay him a bunch of money to be in there. Maybe he can show up here and there, his voice, whatever. And because I'm sure the show would cost way more if you had Bill Skarsgård in it this whole time. But they do a pretty good job with the creatures. The one where the girl gets birthed by like the demon mother or whatever, and it comes after her. That was just so intense and creepy the way they did that. I was like, oh, this is great. And then, like I said, with the kids getting killed, nobody is safe. And I want to stay away from the book now because there were a couple spoilers. But man, the show is just really well done. The intro with the song, I think, was it called Ribbons in My Dress or something like that? Ribbons in My Hair. So catchy. And then they go over all the stuff that happened. Like there's the fire at the one factory when the kids were having the Easter egg hunt. There's the gang that came into Derry and they get shot up. But Pennywise has to do with something, with all of these major tragedies. And so the intro shows that. And man, it's really well done. Like I said, I'm not knee deep into this like I have been with Star Wars or Marvel or some other things. So I don't know a lot of the lore in history. With them adding the military, and I heard this isn't in the book, but them adding the military and them trying to weaponize it, that can either work or it can fail miserably. So I'm curious to see where that goes, because then it has a really good vibe, the show does, right? That could throw it way off. So I'm hoping with them trying to militarize and use Pennywise as a weapon, I'm hoping that doesn't it's not corny now, but it could be, if that makes any sense. Like there's a line there, like, oh, this is really freaky and very interesting, but once you start kind of doing things that are really far out there like that, and I know people will say, come on, man, it's a killer clown that turns into your worst fear and eats children, and the more fear and this, that, and the other, and if you knew the books. And I get it, I understand that it is far out, but then it's it this has like a certain feel to it, a certain vibe, theme, even the military plot that could really just be kind of over the top, maybe too much. Maybe I'm not explaining myself correctly, but for me at least. So that could be hit or miss. I guess we'll see. But yeah, the special effects awesome, a lot of practical effects mixed with the CG. The kid actors are awesome. They are so amazing in this. They're great, man. They are just absolutely great. You get attached to them right away. They do a good job of making you feel for these kids, and then boom, they get killed. One or two of them or three of them, whatever, they get killed, and you're like, what the hell? I did not see that coming unless you read the book. And then this whole thing with Pennywise, it goes back. Like I said, he was like he fell off of like this creature from space, I guess, and he's the evil version of it. And when he likes to eat kids because he can scare them, and when they're scared, it tastes better apparently. But there is you see a lot of like Easter eggs with this turtle. This turtle is called Maturin. It's a giant, ancient, like cosmic turtle who in the books created our universe, like puked up our universe, but it fears that. But he's like the very opposite of Pennywise. He's like he's good, he's pure, and he tries to give, like, apparently that's how the kids get strength. And man, I didn't know. Like I said, I kind of did like a little bit of deep dive, but I didn't know that the Shining is in like a lot of characters. But then when I sat back there and I sat back and I looked, I was like, holy shit, Carrie, Firestarter, obviously the people from The Shining, and then the other movie. But the kids, they have The Shining, the Losers Club, because they all, when they're together, they do. And there's other characters that they mentioned. And of course, Dick Halloran from The Shining, and of course, the boy from The Shining. Man, I just thought, man, it's just this really good. I think I'm gonna deep dive into that, because I always heard that the Dark Tower is a really good book. I know the movie was ass, but apparently just the way everything connects is really cool. And I'm curious, because they have the military involved. Will the Mist play into this at all? Mist is one of my favorite Stephen King movies, and just that ending truly gutted me. So I just thought it was really, really crazy. But no, this show, I'm really invested. I can't wait to see where they, what they do next. The practical effects, the story, the acting, it's really good. The vibe of the show is just really creepy and eerie, and I love it. I absolutely love it. I feel like they're doing a really good job, and it's done by, I think, Andy and Bill Muschietti. Andy Muschietti did the Flash movie, and a lot of people shit on that. I didn't mind it, but I understand why they didn't like it. It wasn't great, but it was cool to see him, because he's supposed to be doing Batman: Brave and the Bold. So if he's helping out with this is great. It's awesome. And but yeah, I mean, did you guys like it? Have you watched it? I can't wait for the next episode. Like, I'm hooked. I'm ready to go. I want it now. I wish this is one we could binge. But I'm really curious to see what they'll do, where it's going to go. They did show some Native Americans at one point. So obviously, I know they do the Chud ceremony, and that's how they contain him. And I believe with Pennywise, he feasts for a while and then goes back to sleep. And then is it like every 27 years he reappears. I don't know. And apparently the show is going to go back 27 years each season if it gets another season. So that's a really cool idea as well. I'm all for it. Well, not all for, because sometimes doing a prequel, it can be very tricky. You can start to fuck up some things, but I really would like to know more of the history of Derry. It is a very creepy town, and its inhabitants, but also Pennywise. I'm very interested in stuff like that. So, what do you guys think? Did you watch it? Welcome to Derry. I'm hooked. I want more. I'm hoping the rest. Like I said, it's only 2 episodes in, but I do hope the rest of the season is as strong as these 2 episodes. Leave your thoughts in the comments. Let me know what you thought about it, and take care. Thanks for listening.